Hello friends and welcome to Unacademy UPSC Current Affairs. So in this session, that is current polity of the day, we will be taking up precedence rule today. We will be discussing about precedence rule in detail today from the current affair perspective and also from the conceptual perspective. So let's start. And I am myself Joicy Joy, your educator for this series. So welcome to Unacademy UPSC Current Affairs. Just taking up the comments, Ankit Sharma, good evening Ankit, and Ankit has commented, ma'am plants the seeds that grows forever. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Ankit. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you so much for everything that you have done to me and you are still doing to me as a student. And as a teacher, I am really blessed to have you all in my life. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for your love and concern. Thanks a lot. And others, if you're watching this live session with me, do send me a hi, hello in the comment section so that I'll be able to know that you have joined me on the session. So welcome once again and let's get started. So June 27th is your D-Day, the prelims examination, which is the first step that you need to cross, or the first hurdle that you need to cross to reach your final destination. So yes, June 27th is the D date, and hardly 6 more months for your preparation, and you have to tighten up your preparation. You have to be more serious, more focused, and there is very limited time now left for your preparations. Now, from the 10 lakh aspirants who apply for this exam every year, almost 10 lakh aspirants who apply for this exam, only a 0.09 percentage, about 900 who clear this exam. So what makes the difference is your focus, your smart work, and how consistent you are in your preparation. Consistency. So give more focus. Now it's high time, 6 more months, and you need to be really focused about your preparation. 20 plus subjects, 100 plus books, the prelims, and the limited time that you have. So be more focused, and we are here to help you out in this journey. So this is about the ultimate courses that we provide at Unacademy. So these are the ultimate GS batches, which are bilingual, which will be a mix of both English plus Hindi. It will be bilingual. And they starts on 21st of December. So bilingual classes will start on 21st of December. And there will be a full coverage of the syllabus. The top educators will be handling the sessions. There will be a prelims test series along with analysis. The PDF study material will be given. There shall be dedicated doubt clearing sessions and interview preparations. So we have 3 ultimate batches which will commence from 21st of December. First is a 6 months batch course, 6 months. Next one is a 1 year course, and another one is 2 years course. So if you are preparing for 2022 or 23, we also have long term batches. And all these batches will be handled by the top faculty, top educators. And apart from that, we also have 6 months and 1 year and 2 month crash courses or GS courses as well. So these courses are available in bilingual Hindi and also in English format. This is about our iconic subscription. Apart from the features that you get in your plus subscription, the iconic subscription provides you with a personalized mentor or a coach who shall be your mentor in your preparation. And you will be given a customized study planner. Study boosted sessions will be there. And also there shall be high intensity workshops, daily answer writing practice, and daily current affairs and mains test series and their evaluation. So this is about the iconic subscription. And if you are purchasing or if you are subscribing to either the plus courses or for any iconic subscription, you can use my coupon code, or this is my referral code. You can use my referral code. This is Joicy10, Joicy 10. So using this referral code, you will be getting a flat 10% of discount on all the subscriptions that you make on Unacademy. Now let's come to the topic of discussion today. Aniket, hi, hello Aniket. Okay. First, let's see what is the current affair or what has appeared in the news. Current affair is that the Supreme Court is the apex court, apex judicial institution or the apex court, has stayed an Andhra Pradesh High Court order intending to embark on a judicial inquiry into whether there is a constitutional breakdown in the state machinery under the Jagan Mohan Reddy government, requiring a declaration of the President's rule. So Supreme Court has stayed, that is, a stay has been given on the Andhra Pradesh High Court order. So what was the Andhra Pradesh High Court order? The Andhra Pradesh High Court, the order intended to embark a judicial inquiry into whether there is a constitutional breakdown in the state machinery. Now what will happen if there is a constitutional breakdown in the state machinery? So if there is a breakdown in the state machinery, the President's rule shall be applicable. So President's rule, there will be an imposition of President's rule. So if there is a breakdown in the state machinery, the President's rule shall be imposed. Now, the Supreme Court has stayed the Andhra Pradesh High Court order which intends to embark a judicial inquiry whether there is a constitutional breakdown in the state machinery under the Jagan Mohan Reddy government and requiring a President's rule. So, this is the current affair. Current affair, you just need to have an idea, not very important, but what is important is the concept which is based on the current affair. The government said the High Court's observation violated the basic structure doctrine of the Constitution. So what was the government's part? So government said that the High Court observation has violated basic structure doctrine. So no government, no state government, okay, no state government will want to go for a state emergency because it will come under the direct control of the President. That is why it is also called a President's rule. We will come to it. So the state government said that High Court observation, that is a judicial inquiry. What was the High Court observation? The High Court of Andhra Pradesh said that there should be a judicial inquiry to see whether there is a breakdown of the state machinery or constitutional breakdown in the state machinery and whether there is a need for a President's rule. Okay, so that was the High Court observation. So the government has said that the High Court observation has violated the basic structure doctrine of the Constitution. Now Supreme Court has stayed the order of the High Court. The unprecedented order of the High Court came while declaring habeas corpus petitions filed by relatives of persons remanded in judicial custody or on bail. So what was the situation where the High Court has given this observation or High Court has given this judicial inquiry, order for a judicial inquiry? It was when there were many habeas corpus petitions. Habeas corpus, you know, it's a writ jurisdiction of the High Court and the Supreme Court. So it's a writ petition. Habeas corpus is a writ petition. So there were many habeas corpus petitions which were filed by the relatives of persons remanded in judicial custody or on bail. This was the situation in which the High Court had given this order. Ankit has commented Article 356. Yes, Article 356. Article 352 deals with national emergency. Article 356 with the state emergency. 352, 356 and 360. So these three articles. Okay, Article 352 with national emergency. 356 state emergency. 360 financial emergency. What you can do is, what I have done is, I remember Article 352, that is the national emergency, plus 4 which is Article 356, again plus 4 which is Article 360. This is how I remember. You can use your own codes, you can even use my code if you want. Ankit, landmark judgment of S.R. Bommai versus Union of India. Very important, very, very important judgment. Now coming to President's rule, let's understand what is President's rule. What is Article 356? What is President's rule, or what we call as a constitutional emergency or a state emergency. So under President's rule, there is a suspension of the state government. So state government is suspended and imposition of direct central government rule in the state. So under the under the President's rule, the state government is suspended. So the state government will go for a suspension, and there will be a direct central government rule which will be imposed in the state. Now, how is this central government rule imposed? Central government means the President's rule. The President's rule, that is, the President will directly control the affairs of the state. So state government will be suspended, and after suspending the state government, the direct central rule will be imposed in the state. The state, it is also called a state emergency or a constitutional emergency. So it is called a state emergency or a constitutional emergency. Article 356 of the Constitution deals with failure of constitutional machinery in a state. Now, this is the ground under which a state emergency can be imposed or a President's rule can be imposed. Article 356 of the Constitution provides the ground under which a state emergency can be imposed. It is when the state undergoes a failure of a constitutional machinery. So, if the state undergoes a failure of constitutional machinery, then the President's rule can be imposed or state emergency can be imposed. Article 356 of the Constitution of India is based on Section 93 of the Government of India Act of 1935. This is very important. Now, why this is important? Because there are many times questions being asked on the borrowings of the Constitution, that is, from where the Constitution has borrowed certain features. Now, this feature of state emergency or President's rule. So, this feature that we have adopted in our Constitution, it is from the Government of India Act of 1935. So, we have adopted this particular provision of state emergency or President's rule from Government of India Act of 1935. GOI of Act of 1935 was introduced in India by the British. So, we can say that it roots to the 1935 Act of Government of India. Now, very important thing is, one more thing that I want to add here is, most of the provisions that we have adopted in our Constitution, so in the modern Constitution that we have right now, most of the features, especially with regard to functioning of the Parliament and all these things, we have adopted it from the Government of India Act of 1935. So, many features that we have at present, they are from the Government of India Act of 1935. That's very important. Now, let's see what are the grounds of President's rule. Let's see that in detail. First one, Article 355. It shall be the duty of Union to protect every state against external aggression and internal disturbance, and to ensure that the government of every state is carried on in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. So, Article 355. So, Article 355 says that it shall be the duty of Union. Union means the central government. Three things are mentioned. So, the Union government or the central government is vested with three responsibilities under Article 355. What are these responsibilities? First one is the protection of every state in the country from external aggression, that is, any disturbance from outside the country. It can be war, it can be terrorism or related attacks, it can be financial frauds from outside the country, etc. So, external aggression. Second is internal disturbance. Internal disturbance means if there are any issues going on within the country, like for example any protest of higher levels or any threat, separatism tendencies, then such kind of internal disturbances going on. And third responsibility vested with the central government with regard to Article 355 is that the state has to be carried out in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. So, the constitutional provisions, the state government has to run in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. That is, the state government, it is the responsibility of the state government to carry out its affairs in accordance with the provisions of Constitution, and if it does not carry out or carry on its affairs in such manner, then it is a responsibility of the center or the union to ensure that it's being carried out that way. Now, Article 356 of the Constitution says that precedent rule can be imposed in any state on grounds of failure of constitutional machinery. So Article 356 directly says that if there is a failure of the constitutional machinery in a state, then the precedence rule can be imposed. And there are two types of failures. So what are these two types of failures? One, if the president on receipt of a report by the governor of a state or otherwise is satisfied that a situation has arisen in which the government of the state cannot be carried out in accordance with the provision of the constitution, then the precedence rule can be imposed. So this is the first kind of failure. You know that there is a governor for every state. So governor of the state is the agent of the center. Also we can say that governor is also the connecting agent, or governor is the connection between the central government and the state government. So governor acts as a connection between center and state. He is also the agent of the center. Why? Because the governor is appointed by the president on the recommendation of the central government or the cabinet or council of ministers. Okay, so that is why the governor acts as an agent of the center who works in the state. He is an agent of the center, but his work, his duties are carried out, or it is departed in the state government. Now, first condition or first type of failure is when the governor gives a report to the president saying that the state is not being carried out according to the provisions of the constitution, or the president can himself feel. So, president can himself feel that the constitutional provisions are not carried out in the state. Now, second situation is when it is mentioned in Article 365. Article 365 states that every state shall comply with all the directions given by the Union on matters it empowers to do so. So, this is a very, very important provision, and also this provision has led to many controversies regarding the precedence rule. So, second condition or the second type of failure is when the central government is giving some directions to the state, and if the state is not complying with the directions given by the center, then also the central government can impose a precedence rule. And this is where all the controversies have come up. So, the controversy is that if the center is not satisfied by the way of the functioning of the state government, then the center can use this provision. And sometimes there are allegations. As a civil service aspirant or as a civil service educator, I cannot say that or we cannot say completely or blindly criticize the government, but there are allegations that there is a misuse of this provision of the constitution, that is Article 356 is being misused, and it is on grounds of Article 365, which states that the central government can give directions to the state, and if the state does not comply with the directions of the center, then the center can impose a precedence rule. Please do remember, it's a very important point for prelims as well as for mains. Okay, in prelims you can get a statement saying that this can be a reason. You have to be very right with this. And in mains there can be questions with regard to the misuse of the Article 356, how often it is being used, or whether it is used as a tool to centralize the authorities. All these can be possible questions for the mains examination. So be very clear with this concept. If you have any doubts with regard to these two concepts, please do put them in the comment section now. I'll just take up the comments. By that time you can ask me any doubts or any clarifications if you have any. Vishal Kumar has commented, nice teaching ma'am, and guys please like and share this session. Thank you so much Vishal, thanks a lot. I'm really glad to see this comment from you. Thank you so much. Gaurav Chandra, ma'am, please make video on social security for UPSC EPFO. Social security, it's not in my priority list actually, because every educator is assigned with one or two subjects, and my subject is economics and polity, because I have done my masters in economics, and also polity is one subject where I have keen interest, which is one subject that I'm really fascinated about. These are the two subjects actually. Economics is like my heart, and maybe polity is like my soul. These two subjects are like, I'm really fascinated with these two subjects, and so that is why I am assigned with these subjects. But definitely there are other good educators on our channel who are taking up sessions for social security. I'll let you know about the sessions. Okay, thank you Gaurav for the question. Garima, how to crack EPFO ma'am? There are various videos available on our channel, Garima. So first thing I'll say, for any exam, you have to go through the syllabus first and make sure that, with very limited resources you cover the syllabus. And next thing will be previous year question papers or mock test. So these are few of the tips which can be generally or universally applied for any examination for that matter. Gaurav Chandra has asked me again, is there any misuse of Article 356? So bluntly, we cannot simply say that there is a misuse, but we can say that there are various loopholes for Article 356 which can be misused. So you have to be very diplomatic, especially when you are writing a answer which seems to criticize the government. So you have to be very diplomatic, you have to be very neutral, very balanced answers you should give. So you can just say that there are loopholes and these are the loopholes. So yes. Ankit Sharma, custodian of the Constitution of India is Supreme Court. Yes, and that was a question that was asked in prelims exam. Who is the custodian of our Constitution? So Supreme Court is the guardian, custodian and the interpreter of the Constitution. Three things: guardian of the Constitution, interpreter of the Constitution and custodian of the Constitution. Garima, any association between Article 356 and Sarkaria Commission? Indirectly we can say yes, association is there. Sarkaria Commission and Article 356. Yes, there are connections. Yes. Ankit Sharma, no doubts. Okay. Sabha Khan, hello. Hi Sabha. Please complete classes full syllabus, please. Maybe on the YouTube I will not be able to complete syllabus as such, but I will be taking up these current issues, current affairs, etc. But in the special class platform I will definitely try to cover the syllabus, at least the most important syllabus. Okay. So any doubts? What is 44th Amendment Act? Okay, 44th Amendment Act, actually there was a 42nd Amendment Act which is also the mini constitution, which tried to bring in so much of amendments to our constitution. But 44th Amendment Act was actually, I can just briefly say, it was actually brought in to correct those mistakes that was done in 42nd Amendment. 42nd and 44th Amendment Act has to be taught together, and it's also a very, very, important topic for your examination, 42nd and 44th Amendment Act, which we need to discuss. And especially when we talk about federalism, I think it's a very important topic that we need to cover. Definitely we'll be doing that. Sabha Khan, okay. Little bit about the pocket veto. Pocket veto. Pocket veto is actually when, veto power of the president. It's a power of the president, and basically the basic thing about veto power is that when a bill is passed by the parliament, it becomes an act only when the president gives assent to it. So president can or cannot give the assent. So in that regard, the president exercises veto power. So that is veto, and pocket veto is when for the unlimited period of time the president does not act on the bill. That is pocket veto. Sabha Khan is asking me for the special class timing. It has to be finalized now. We are discussing about the timings and all. It needs to be finalized actually. So once the schedule is fixed, I'll let you know. I am also actually waiting to start with the special sessions. ओके गरिमा मैम PDF कहाँ मिलेगा? PDF तो मैं कुछ अरेंजमेंट्स कर लेती हूँ, 1 या 2 दिन में आपका PDF मिलने का अरेंजमेंट्स पूरा तो मैं कर लेगा. मोस्टली आई क्रिएट अ टेलीग्राम चैनल फॉर माई सेल्फ from the side of Unacademy. I'll tell them to make a channel for our sessions exclusively for I am taking one more session. If you do not know, I am taking one more session in the other channel, Unacademy Articulate, at 8 PM, and that is economy of the day, current economy of the day. So for my sessions, for both these sessions which I take on YouTube, I will ask them to create a channel, or I'll share the PDF with them so that they will share it with you on the Telegram channel. So definitely I'll make some arrangements for that. Raj Verma, ma'am, you teach us very clearly. Thank you so much, Raj. Thank you so much. Really means a lot. And Ankit, thank you. You're welcome, Ankit. So, yeah, I hope there are no doubts now. So, all your Garima Singh, your handwriting is awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I hope no more doubts. We spoke about the pocket veto, 44th Amendment, about the Sarkariya Commission and all that. Yeah. PDFs are available on, not now, but I'll make arrangements to make it available on Telegram, Gaurav. Okay? Okay, and yeah. So I also have my personal Telegram channel. Gaurav has said, agreed, handwriting is super. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Okay. So, yes, I hope it's clear the grounds of Precedence Rule. Let's continue. Now, let's see state under Precedence Rule. What are the changes that will happen to a state government or a state when the state is under Precedence Rule? And this is again very, very important. There shall be no Council of Ministers. So, there will be no executive. Executive is the Council of Ministers. So, there shall be no Council of Ministers, or we can say that the Council of Ministers will be suspended. The Vidhan Sabha is either dissolved or prorogued. So, prorogation or dissolving of the Vidhan Sabha. And the state shall fall under the direct control of the union government. So, how? Because the president will take up the administration of the state, and the president is a part of the union government. So, the state shall fall under the direct control of the union government. So, what does it mean? Which means that the affairs of the state shall be carried out by the union, or it will be controlled by the union. So, state affairs. Affairs of the state government shall be carried out by the union or the union government. Okay. The governor will continue to be the head of the proceedings representing the President of India. We know that there is a governor for every state, and the governor of the state is the representative of the union. So, union government, the president appoints the governor, and the recommendation is given by the central government. So, the governor of the state, the governor will not be removed under a Precedence Rule, because why? He is an agent of the center. So, government will continue to be on office, and he will also be the head of the proceedings, and he will be representing the President of India. So, on behalf of the President of India, on behalf of the union government, so on behalf of the union government or the President of India, the governor shall be undertaking the administration of the state. So, this is what happens under Precedence Rule. Understand that the Council of Ministers shall be suspended or diluted, Vidhan Sabha can be dissolved or prorogued, and the state will be under the direct control of the union government. Now, let's see when is the Precedence Rule imposed. First one, the state legislature is not able to elect a leader as the chief minister for a time prescribed by the state governor. We know that the governor carries out the oath. So, if the state legislature, if the legislative assembly or the legislature of the state is not able to elect a leader as the chief minister, we know there were many recent incidents, Karnataka, Maharashtra, there were many states undergoing this situation when it was not possible to elect a chief minister for the legislature. So, within the time prescribed by the state governor, if the chief minister is not elected, then Precedence Rule can be imposed. Second is Article 365 in itself. That is, what is Article 365? The central government can give guidelines, or the central government can give various directions to the state government, and if the state government does not comply with the guidelines or the directions given by the central government, then Precedence Rule can be imposed. Third is breakdown of a coalition in the state government. Coalition means many political parties coming together, forming a coalition to form the government. So breakdown of a coalition in the state government, and the CM is unable to prove his majority. What happens in a coalition? Many parties will come together to form the government. Suppose if certain political parties are withdrawing their support from the coalition, then the ruling party or the ruling government will lose their majority in the house. So in that case, the chief minister will not be able to prove the majority within the time prescribed by the governor. In that case also, president's rule can be imposed. These are all very important points. Fourth is postponement of elections owing to unavoidable reasons like natural disaster, epidemic or war. We know the term of the state legislative assembly is 5 years. If there is a legislative council, it is a permanent body where 1/3 of the members, they retire every 2 years. But in case of the state legislative assembly, SLA, state legislative assembly, 5 years is the term of the state legislative assembly. Suppose even after 5 years, the elections are not carried out in the state because of some unavoidable reasons, like it can be because of a war, it can be because of an epidemic, it can be because of natural disaster. In that case also, president's rule can be imposed. Fifth is a no confidence vote in the legislative assembly leading to loss of majority. So the legislative assembly, and in case of parliament, the Lok Sabha, no confidence motion can be moved, and in the no confidence motion the government has to prove the majority. So government has to prove the majority. A no confidence vote in the legislative assembly leading to loss of majority. So if in the no confidence motion, if the government is not able to prove its majority, then also the president's rule can be imposed. So these are the various situations when the president's rule can be imposed. Next is imposition of president's rule requires sanction of both houses of the parliament. This is another point. That is, if the president's rule has to be imposed, both the houses of the parliament has to give the sanction. That is, both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Both the houses of the parliament has to give the sanction. This is very important point. This is because why this provision is made, because this is to control the influence of government or the union government on the state. This is to protect the federalism. So if there is no need for any sanction, union government can anytime actually declare a state emergency or a president's rule. Because the president and the governor, they are under the direct control of the union government. So to avoid such situation, to increase the accountability of the union government to the parliament, to the people or to the states, this provision has been made. That is, if the president's rule has to be imposed, then both the houses of the parliament has to give the sanction for the same. And it goes on for a period of 6 months. And then if it has to be continued, it can be extended, it cannot be extended for more than 3 years. So every 6 months the parliament has to give the approval again and again. So on a go, it's only 6 months. So it goes on for a period of 6 months, and the imposition cannot be extended for more than 3 years, and it needs to be brought before 2 houses every 6 months for approval. So on one go, 6 months. Then if it has to be extended for another 6 more months, parliament has to again approve and give the sanction. Parliament means both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now, the president's rule can be revoked by the president at any time by a subsequent proclamation, and such proclamation does not require the parliamentary approval. So this is again important. That is, for imposing the president's rule, the parliament approval or sanction is important. Both the houses of the parliament has to give the sanction. Now, in order to revoke the president's rule, the president can any time revoke the president's rule, and it does not require a parliamentary approval. So it does not require the approval from the parliament in order to revoke it. So that is all regarding the president's rule. Garima Singh, today Nepal PM Oli dissolves the parliament. Ankit, one more doubt, what is rubber stamp office? It's a mockery over the president's office. So president's office, it's not actually a technical term, or you cannot use it in your examination actually. So it's basically a mockery of the president's office, because you know why it is called so. I'll just explain it, but please do not take it very seriously for your examination, because you cannot use such derogatory words in your exam. I mean, I know that Ankit, you just wanted to clarify it. I'm just saying that you cannot use it. The reason is that the president is actually the head of the government, but you know, actually the nominal head of the government, but the president has to act in aid and advice of the union government or the council of ministers. It's given by the constitution itself. The constitution itself provides that the president has to act on the aid and advice of the council of ministers. So it means that the council of ministers can control the president. So whatever the council of ministers decide, the president has to act accordingly, and that is why president or the president's office is sometimes known as rubber stamp office. It's a mockery of the president's office. For exam we cannot use it, but for your understanding I have told you this. So any more doubts? I will just take up the doubts and comments for just one more minute. And one more time, just reminding you that you can use my referral code Joicy10, JOICY10, if you are subscribing for any courses, the plus courses or the iconic courses. You can use my referral code, which is Joicy10. So thank you, Ankit, for the doubt. Actually, it was a very good doubt. It was a very genuine doubt, but I just told you cannot use it for exam. Otherwise, it was a very good doubt. Okay. If at all you have any doubt, and if at all you feel that it's very silly or simple, just put it. No matter at all, no issue at all. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being with me, spending your precious 40 minutes with me. Thanks a lot, and I hope to see you all tomorrow with new topics. So tomorrow I'll be meeting you again with new topics and new session. So take care everyone, and stay blessed. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. Good night. Take care.